By the end of the day, we'll learn something about ethics and how can we approach ethics in a more professional manner. So in dictionary, if you want to go to Oxford Dictionary, it says it is about moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the branch of knowledge that deals with moral principles. So it's very abstract definition. So this is not enough. We need to go closer again. Ethics is always subjective, and we have gray area that no one can say definitely that this is the case or this is the other way around. So some scholars have said that it has three pillars. So we talk about system of moral principles and rules of conduct in respect of human actions and individual moral principles. All of them constitute what is called ethics. You cannot take one and leave the rest. They are all shaping what ethics is all about. So this is another aspect of ethics. So what is the dilemma of ethics then? So it is a very gray area of knowledge. No one knows how they can definitely judge on the case. So it's not black and white. We have two extremes, and it is something in between. You cannot judge. So the major problem that we are facing with this, especially in the industry, that there is a clash between your interests, your personal morals, and your commercial motivation. So if you are commercially driven, for example, you may go one step back and think about your ethics once again. You know, that is a major issue. And I gave you an example of one of the people that I worked with where he tried to get compensation from insurance in an illegal way. So it is highly influenced. So if you are saying it is something that should be united everywhere in the world, it is not. It is dominated, it's constructed by the religion, by the culture, by the backgrounds, by the set of manners, by the way how people were raised up. So you need to know where you are limited with your freedom, and that may help you understand at what point of time you are doing something ethical or unethical, and we'll go through this in a few minutes. Now I want to move to business and see the business ethics, how it works. You know, is it exactly the same like the personal ethics and how people are engaging with each other and how they are dealing in certain situations? So the fact is that business is always driven by profit, and if you want to compete, you need to cheat. This is a saying that many people are trying to adopt, and they go with that. So I have seen so many people. The industry is really unethical. We need guidelines to help us understand what could be ethical and what could not be ethical. So if you have guidelines, if you stick to these guidelines and you sign an agreement that you will stick to these guidelines, you are legally bound by it. If we don't have guidelines, who is going to resolve the gray areas? The gray areas will continue to be there for long, and no one will be able to determine what is ethical and what is legal. So the question is, does legality of an action make it ethical? So we have so many laws right now, so many laws. Does the law itself help us to be more ethical? Do you think now the law here in Australia, for example, is sufficient enough for the communities to be ethical, or there are shortcomings, or the law itself could be unethical for some people? Okay, so at what price we talk about ethics now? So if I want to be ethical, is it really something that I can do? When you say something, it is completely different than you actually do it. And it is always driven by your social interests or your commercial interests. It is driven with regard to what you think the consequences would be. I told you that, you know, some people would say, forget about this unethical behavior, I cannot talk about it because I will lose my job. So there are so many things that you think about when you are in a place like that, and you will be under a big pressure. It is a big pressure for you to take a decision or to act ethically in a place where the culture of ethics is not existing. If the culture is not existing, you will struggle a lot if you are the only one who is the ethical person. So it is depending not only on the morals, but also on the character of people. And the price is what I'm trying to address here. We talk about social, environmental, and commercial aspects. So how can we approach ethical decisions? So if I am the project manager, for example, and I want to make sure that I want to make the right decision about ethical behaviors. So how can I take the right decision? So actually we have two schools. So the first school called the best ratio approach, where it says that what the majority wants is what will dictate us to take the decisions. So if the majority are saying we need to stop smoking, this means it is a decision to stop smoking. So ethical decisions could not be ethical, but it follows what majority wants, because the good people are the majority. The good people always are the majority, and the bad people are minority. But there is another one, the black and white approach, where some people will think, look, it is black and white, black and white. So this particular situation is unacceptable, full stop, regardless. Even if it's only one person is saying that it is black and white, it's going to be decided this way. And we have so many legislation that has been done, especially in bureaucratic countries, where only the governor has approached this particular theory. So it says that the circumstances are irrelevant. It is irrelevant completely. So black is black, white is white, and there is nothing to negotiate about. So it is very tough and rough way of dealing with ethics. So these are the main two theories. There is another one which is combining both of them depending on the situation, but you need just to know something about these two and understand how they work in real life. Okay, so ethics itself, when it comes to business, it is really difficult to assess, because there is a saying in the industry that we need to cheat to compete, especially when it comes to tendering process, where you should be honest and fair, and you don't do that. If we talk about business, we always talk about long-term approach. If you are going to be ethical, it is not something that you will see on the short term. You will see that on the long term. For example, I worked as a contractor for years. Okay, then I was put in a situation where I was recruiting people working for a major developer. So I was taking decisions to appoint this contractor or that contractor. And because I know 3 or 4 contractors that I worked with and I know them inside out, the first thing that I did is to exclude the list of contractors that I know that they were behaving unethically. This was the first decision, because I know that when I appoint these people, they will not be ethical with us, they will not be fair with us, they will not be honest. So in the long run, you are the loser. The business people are the losers. Your business will be hurt in the long run, because those people who know you inside out, they are still in the industry and they know what's happening, and they will not, it is not like Catholic marriage that they will be with you forever. So this is happening in the industry. So we talk about investment. We talk about your integrity. So if you want to be ethical, and this will be on the account of your job, losing the job, lose the job, but don't lose your integrity. On the long run, you are the one who's going to gain the fruits. So if we want to talk about company role, the theoretical role of the company, what they have to do, they need to create an entire internal environment where they know that all of the people who are coming from different backgrounds, they have the same objective and they will behave in the same way. So the ethical behaviors can be done by establishing an environment. To establish that environment, you need a code of conduct. You need something. You need reference, so people can adhere to that reference. And you need to put some examples to those people, especially when they deal with outsiders. Confidentiality, fairness, how you can disclose information, how you deal with others, especially in the workplace, what should be done. So the motivation, there is a major motivation to be ethical. If you want to be ethical on the long run, there is an ethical motivation behind that, because it is something which will market your brand. If you are trying to be more ethical, you gain a lot of support from the public. You get more jobs on the long run, especially from the government-funded projects. And do you know Philip Morris? Philip Morris? He's one of the giants in tobacco business. So in 1997, he spent 75 millions on charity, but he spent 100 millions to publicize it. See how it works. So why they're doing that? They need to create brand confidence. They need to create some loyalty to the brand. So we talk about consumers. Nowadays, we like to be working or dealing with companies who are promoting ethical behaviors. And the shareholders, they always like to have the company working for the best possible code of conduct, and then this will affect the behavior of the company business, especially when it comes to responsibilities and integrity. So now this is the major introduction, just to put you in the scene of what is going on. So When we talk about ethical principles, what do you think? What are the ethical principles that we talk about? So we have honesty, we have fairness, we have fair reward, we have reliability, integrity, objectivity, accountability. So these are basic attributes. If you are abiding by these attributes, you will be named as an ethical person in the workplace or in your life and everywhere. So this is what we are trying to achieve. Mainly we talk about honesty and fairness. These are the major attributes that everyone should have.